unity consciousness, machiwa, oneness, law of one body, one spirit, one mind, one form, one God. Unity consciousness. Machiwa, holy ones. Thank you for being here tonight with me. Being with us, a family, Christic family. Connecting with those Emerald Covenant teachings, frequencies, codes, Guardian Code, Indigo, Team Indigo, family, spirit. Thank you so much, you guys. This is a great honor always to share this space with you. It's a great honor to walk this path, this Christic path with all of you. Many blessings to your spiritual journey and much love, omni love, unconditional love. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful that you're finding your awakening. It's not an easy process here on 3D Earth in this, huge drama playing out in the human race. And so this is why we're here, actually. Indigo children, star seeds, light workers, empaths, we incarnate during this period for this specific intention to help in that drama, in this spiritual bondage, because there's all kinds of false light teachings, a lot of, you would say, fallen angelic legions that are encroached on our civilization, on our angelic human spirit. And so this is why it's not easy. This is why it's kind of like a battleground in your awakening. This isn't always the case in human history, but during this time, during the stellar activation cycle, closing cycle, which takes a few more decades, there's always going to be some type of strife, some type of conflict, some type of, ascension symptoms playing itself out. And so one of the biggest factors or biggest healings that we can do is come together in unity consciousness. It's a type of, focused consciousness. And we want to bring in this Christ, this inner Christ, inner Christos, the inner God spark that combines all of us. This is all of our shared identity. All beings, you guys. That's one of the hard things for some people to understand, that unity, all, includes even the dark side. Okay, when you learn some of these teachings, you understand that the Emerald Covenant made a promise. The Emerald Covenant is a promise that all beings, all, not just some, not just chosen ones, not believers only, but all will eventually, this is the promise, they will all eventually return back to God, source. Now, a lot of the dark beings, fallen beings, are doing that through the self-destruction process, through the falling process. They too return to space, to space dust and then to God, which takes that quanta, and recycles it into new life, new expressions of source, new mission, new purpose, new identities. And so that's how the dark side returns back, through the falling, self-destructing, unconscious oblivion path, the path of chaos. What is chaos? Destruction. And so the annihilation. And so those of us who are awakening, obviously we're trying to center our life on that positive frequency, on love, and so we can expand. And so one of the important factors is coming together in oneness, in unity. So a lot of the things I just mentioned are some of the things that you would want to incorporate into your thinking. thinking that, well, I'm having an argument with this person, or I don't really like this person, or if you're looking at the news, there's all kinds of terrible things and people doing terrible things. We still want to acknowledge that we want to come together in unity. And so this is a very important aspect. And one of the things about unity, when we talk about that concept, it is the understanding that we are truly all already united. You would say physically, spiritually, we are all connected. You cannot be separate from each other. So you do something harmful or negative to someone else, you're doing that to yourself. You harm someone, you're harming yourself. Maybe in your place of arrogance and power hunger, you don't see it that way, but in the multidimensional point of view, you're building up this karma. Sometimes it's instant karma, sometimes it's played out in your other lifetimes, other identities, which is you. So while you're harming someone else, that's gonna become a soul lesson to you. You'll be put into that position until you are understanding and being victorious over that lesson. That's what reincarnating is about. You didn't get it right last time? Let's reincarnate and try again. Go into the soul integration process, also called the fetal integration process. Go into a new body, create a new life on earth, and let's see if you get it right this time. Do you really want to spend that extra more time instead of being in the higher God worlds? Okay, so if you really understood what it's like, or what it will be like, let's say Earth keeps on getting worse, more of the consciousness on Earth is falling into phantom Earth. Well, would you really want to incarnate during that period? Because, that's something that you can consider could happen. If you don't get it right this time and you're going to return into a new life, a new chance, a new experience, it could be tyranny. There could be extraterrestrial martial law like they have in parallel Earth. And so I encourage all of you to strive to actually go through the ascension process in this lifetime. As a matter of fact, the guardians have brought us these Emerald Order teachings, which include the Kathara, biospiritual healing, in this time period. It's not always there, but this is needed. You need to be able to know how to bioregenerate your DNA, which has been mutated, okay, by the intruder races. The guardians call them intruder races, or these are the negative fallen angelic legions, what are extraterrestrials, malevolent ETs, alien beings. So these negative beings are called Luciferians by the guardians. The ones that are reptilian, they're the ones, that's where Satan, the concept or the frequency of that is coming from that side. So the other one is the Anunnaki side, bringing us the sexist patriarchies, putting down the divine feminine. I've been on this channel for 4 years and I still got people telling me that, oh, their God is, just yesterday someone said that man was created by God and then woman came out of man's rib. When you start to awaken your consciousness, really awaken your consciousness into your inner Christos, that sounds absolutely absurd, ignorant, kindergarten, spiritual immaturity. The consciousness, that's all the consciousness sees. This, we talk about unity. This is the opposite of unity, right? Taking part of the human race and putting it down here into subservience, into submission. to the man, that is antichristic, anti-God. You know, that which is against God's original intention, capital O, capital I, original intention. That is against God's original intention. We're all meant to be equal. We're all equal. This is part of the concept tonight of unity. There is no one, if we're all equal, this is equal. Okay? When there's someone that's above or below or this way or somewhere else, that's not equality. Some people cannot stand equality. They don't want equality. Usually that's... Did I not keep this close enough? Sorry, guys. I just noticed it just now. This is inequality. Elitist, hierarchy, that's not equality. That's some type of ranking system. Rank who's better, who's worse. There is no better or worse. There is only equality. And like I just said, some people cannot stand that, do not want that in their current three-dimensional perspective. That perspective doesn't want equality. This is why we have, in this world, it is being dominated by inequality, competition, ranking, different groupings of society. I was just watching this movie, The Great Gatsby, with Leonardo DiCaprio. I've seen it a few times. And this movie is all about different societies. You're not part of this society. You're not part of the elites, the wealthy. You know, in that movie, they have the poor ghetto areas. Those people aren't welcome. But all of the cool people, you know, this is not unity. This is the opposite of unity. And as a spiritual person, you know, any of you brothers and sisters who are loving, kind, you feel that naturally. You know, we're all supposed to be loving. You know, when you put children together, they want to play. They're not looking at the color of their skin or what you're wearing. They want to play. Let's go play. It is adults who ruin that. These kids are brought up, brainwashed in the school system, in the job system, in the, you know, in life. Life takes you away from that unity. It makes you into, you know, separate from one another. Literally, they're trying, you know, that's what this whole COVID thing was about, separating people. Okay, we're trying to do the opposite. We're much more better off together, co-creating, you know, living together, like in peace, in love. It is even religions themselves that are causing this, you guys, causing this separation. Saying you're separate from God, you're not separate from God. That's the opposite of unity. That is a red flag for you, brothers and sisters out there researching spiritual awakening and ascension. Well, does your system, whether it's New Age or a cult or whatever, is it talking about any type of inequality or hierarchy or separation? There's no such thing as separation. Literally, there is absolutely no such thing. You can't be separate. We're all intrinsically connected. And one of the main concepts to understand that is that nothing is physical. Everything is made of energy. And all of these energy layers, energy structures are literally intrinsically connected, including your human energy frequency is connected to the earth. All humans, all of their frequency, their connection, is literally integrated through the planet. And we're all on the planet. We're all connected to that network. We're connected to other planets. We're connected to outer space, inner space, different dimensions, different galaxies in the universe, and even beyond the time matrix, outside of manifestation, the non-manifest, the spirit worlds, consciousness, pure consciousness worlds, we're still connected. The beings in the matrix are connected to the beings in the kundalini, the cosmic fields, the primal light fields. We're all connected through source God. We're all part of God. And that's tonight's topic. And anybody can come and disagree and write your comments in chat, but please be respectful in chat, you guys. This is why we have moderators to moderate profanity, moderate trolls. And so appreciate your kindness in chat. Much respect to all of you. Thank you for being here. Let me say hello to everyone. Let me light my incense real quick. What's going on, homies? What's going on in your spiritual journey? How's it going? I mean, you can be honest. Maybe you're not doing too well. Well, you're you would say, you're amongst friends and family. You're amongst people who are basing their journey on reverent respect. We respect you, and whatever you're going through, share. Because we have look at chat. I don't need to convince you. Just look at chat. It's very loving, and we're all trying to awaken, and we're trying to live in unity. We're not comparing each other. We're not saying who's better, who's new, who's an expert. Nothing like that. So feel welcome here at Christos Avatar. Our community is very supportive. Whatever you're going through, a lot of us have probably also gone through it. So we can relate to you, homie. And if you're experiencing paranormal things and supernatural things and your Christian family, your religious family can't understand, they demonize you, you become the black sheep, you found your home. What's up? What's up, black sheep? That's a badge, right? Someone calls you schizophrenic, that's a badge. That means you're doing something right. That the 3D consciousness can't understand. So what they can't understand or what they fear, they have to demonize, they have to break down, they have to destroy. They have to destroy unity consciousness. What's up, homies? White Kupal. I don't know about you, but I prefer to live within God's original intention. I want to align myself with Source God through unity, through Christ consciousness, through my inner connection to God Source. No, nothing out in the matrix. Within. To your home, to your source. Return back to your source. Look within. As long as you keep on looking out here, looking towards something else besides inside, you're going to be off track. You're going to be lost. You're going to be confused. Why do you think they give you saviors and self-proclaimed archangels and galactic councils and federations? Why do they give you all these things out in the matrix so you're not looking within anymore, inside your connection to God, within unity, within the Christos? Now you're looking to something else than the source. This is not your source out here. You know, this is a hologram projection. Have you forgotten that part, Holy One? Manifestation is a hologram projection. There is nothing actually physical. It's the illusion, the illusion of physicality. So, when you don't understand that, everything does look separate. I'm separate from you, we're at a distance, but the truth is we're not. Even the air space is made of molecules, atoms that are vibrating, that are built on ultra microparticles that are vibrating, or that are disappearing and reappearing from particle matrix to antiparticle matrix. Ouchie. Peace, love, kindness, reverent respect, mindfulness, impeccability, fearlessness, omni-love. You can't go wrong there, holy ones. Let's say hi to chat. All our homies, brothers and sisters of Christic light, Vato Locos, spiritual G's. Emerald Dragon in the house. What's up, family? MLM, hello. Gina Sutton, woohoo, love you, holy ones. Gina? Is this the same Gina? We haven't seen you in a while. Wonderful to see you, sister. Yeah, give me a hug. UTD in the house. Amy Felice, machiwa to you, sister. How you doing? IT Shadows 215, hello there, hello everyone. Adzra or Adrza, that's hard. Adrza, Thank you, Holy One. I'm trying to be. Welcome to my crib. Yes, you did. You finally caught it live, and there's a reason for that. Welcome. Glad to have you with us. Rise Above 1900. You have helped bring me back to center. Followed you for a long time. I am becoming a member this Friday when I get paid. Your teachings are very helpful. Thank you so much, Rise Above. Much respect to you and your journey. I'm glad some of this energy of my channel has been a part of your awakening. Wait, is my face blurry, you guys? I hope it's not blurry. It looks like it's a little blurry. You're in Toronto, Amy? Welcome, Canada. Says Adra. Oh, it's your first time, Rise Above. Good to have you. Dan Miller, hello everyone. Thank you for being a member, Dan. IT Shadows 215. It's fantastic to know there are others experiencing and knowing as I. This place had become unbelievable and marvelous at the same time. Lots of dots being connected from your words. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for that awesome feedback. I really appreciate that. It means a lot. More than you know. Geraldo Martinez, what's happening, everybody? Welcome, brother. Magi Celine, our first moderator tonight. Welcome, sister. Good to have you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for watching our community and helping us out. Much respect, Celine. And if you guys have questions, ask one of the moderators like Celine here tonight. Magi Celine. Laren Moon in the house. Wow, been a member for over a year. Thank you so much, Laren Moon. Woohoo! Much love and respect to all my familia. Mr. Mattism in the house. What's up, brother? Woohoo! Greetings, Vato, loving sister of light. He's talking to Celine. Giannis, what's up, beautiful one? Greetings to you, sister. Thank you so much. I must have, more than one person is saying that, so it must have been a good one, right? Stardust Goddess, what's up, homie? How you doing, sister? I'm so glad that you're so busy, like, sharing the teachings on your Instagram channel. Much respect to you, Shelly. Thank you, sister. You're awesome. So a lot of chat. Like, wow, it's just pouring on in, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Let me get started. Itch my nose. So, unity consciousness. When there's so much like ugliness in the world, right? Wait a second. Got to take a pause real quick. Gina Sutton? Woohoo, Gina! I've been missing your amazing donations. We've been missing you. She says, I've been sick for a couple of months, then lost my path. Much respect to your path, sister. We've all been there. We've all done that. No judgment on our channel. Really missed you all. I'm glad to be back. Machiwa is sending love. So happy you're back. So happy that you're feeling better. I hope, and you come to the right place to feel even better, sister. Thank you so much for that. Much respect, sister. And thank you for explaining. We're so happy to see you again. Sir Madison, brother. Love you, Anahazi. Machiwa, brother. Thank you so much, man. You're awesome. Much love to you, man. Man, if you're interested, Sir Madison, we could do another interview, homie. It doesn't have to be about Egypt. You're brilliant in your own way. So just like we had our interview with Indigo Wizard, Shelly, Celine. Well, Celine didn't do it one-on-one yet, but why not? If you're up for it, hit me up. Giannis 111111111. Giannis, sister, woohoo! Much love. I'm just gonna say this. It's really in a small place like this. I love you, Giannis. I love you, Julia. She's my baby. What's up, homie? Shh, quiet. It's a secret. No, it's not a secret. Thank you guys so much. Beautiful ones, holy ones, sacred ones. Unity consciousness. We inspire towards unity. We inspire towards that connection. We naturally want this connection. We don't want to feel lonely. We don't want to be isolated. That's not how guardians roll. When you're full of love, you want to express it. Okay? When you're arrogant and prideful, you just are feeling superior. You want to put down other people. You don't want to be kind. So you want to like bully people, be negative to people. What's up with that? You know, people who are actually awakened, we actually, you know, who are you fooling? You're just fooling yourself. And so we're trying to, you know, heal, transmute those old energies, those frequencies. Transmute, cleanse, bring the Christos frequency. Bring the omni-love frequency. Bring the kindness. Bring the respect. Honor all life, not just human beings. Plant kingdom, animal kingdom, any type of life. It's all alive. That's the concept of unity. Everything is united. Everything is coming from one source. There's only one source, one God. You notice God, the real God, doesn't have an S behind it. There is no such thing as gods. There is only God, one G, big G. One source of everything. It's the source of even all the little dimensionalized ETs claiming to be God. It's the creator of those false gods, ET gods. It's source God doesn't have a name. It's not called Yahweh. It's not called Allah. God, source God does not have a name. God is not a pronoun. God is not human looking. God is not angry, fear, judgmental. If you judge something, unity does not exist. That's a fake God. That's not the real God. There's only one of those. Source God. No name, no gender. No negative qualities. You only have distortion in the time matrix between dimensions 1 through 11. Dimensions 12, 13, 14, and 15 are blessed, are joyous, are in love, are in unity, not polarized, but united together, coming together in one, the original state. All those, we are transmuting. Team Christos. Team Emerald Covenant. We're transmuting. Out of here. Getting out of here. Healing. Getting this old frequency, this negative frequency, this dark frequencies out of our planet. Antichristic frequencies. Non-unity frequencies. We're trying to heal that back to its original united state. Unity state. So, religions are the opposite of unity. And I have over 1,500 videos. So out of 1,500 videos, several hundreds of those videos talk about the distortions in religion and New Age. And so do the Guardian teachings, by the way. Okay? We're coming in with, from those Guardian levels, incarnating non-distorted levels, sacred holy avatars, Christos avatars. We're coming in here into a planet, a literal planet of distortion. It wasn't always that way. It became that way. It got attacked. It got twisted. It got manipulated, just like the human race, the angelic human race. The original human was angelic, was in a civilization within the law of one, within unity. This is why these angels fallen angels make sure they try to do everything to destabilize unity, to make us hate each other, to make us judge each other, to make us criticize each other, to compete with each other, to devalue each other, like devaluing women in religion, everything to break that unity. They want to destabilize our unity. They've been pretty good at it. You see it all over the planet now, almost everywhere. There's fighting. Look at the news. There's war. There's death. There's hatred. There's prejudice. That's not unity. Unity comes from a benevolent, loving source God. Warring, fighting, judging, destroying comes from the anti-God, anti-Christos, a false ET God. Okay? So when you hear any type of religion or spiritual belief that has destruction and fear and inequality, you know that is the dark side, the anti-Christic side, the anti-God side. And my videos have hopefully painted a lucid picture of that. These teachings that painted that picture are exposing these beings. I didn't know all this information. I learned it from these teachings. I'm not making this up. It's not my personal opinion. I'm a student of this work. It is all of our work. This Emerald Covenant, a lot of you are coming from the Emerald Covenant. I am incarnating from those higher dimensions of the Emerald Covenant. And so are many of you brothers and sisters. This is our teaching. This is Team Indigo. This is the Ayayani Yanis teachings. This is the Guardian beings who exist within unity, within the sacred universal law of one teachings. Positive beings. Nothing to do with putting fear into the world or judging the world or conquering it or killing it off. I mean, it just, any good person is going to feel something's off there. They're going to resonate to good things, to loving things, to beautiful things. You resonate. Most normal humans are going to want to be in peace. They don't want fighting. We certainly don't want killing. You are trained to hate other people based on their color, based on their financial status, based on their, what culture they were born with. There's always something trying to put you down. Always something trying to brand you, label you, attack you, criticize you. It happens different stages of our life. Kids are very cruel. They can be very cruel to each other. Where do you think the kids are getting it from? From their parents, from the media, from the internet, from the programming. Who's programming the internet? Who's programming society? Who's programming religions and beliefs, spiritual belief systems like in New Age? This is coming from this spiritual bondage from the anti-Christic beings. It is part of a spiritual war. They do not want unity. They want to destabilize it, destabilize you, destabilize the angelic human, interfere with the guardians coming in, like us. So, this is something that we're dealing with on a regular basis. Adzra, thank you so much, Holy One. Her name is Adrian. She wrote, I try to watch all your videos and it's an important part of my journey. Lots of love to all of you here. Yes! And that number is powerful. It says you're from New Zealand, right? 999. Powerful numbers. Thank you so much for your positive feedback. It means a lot. Thank you so much. Sarah Holder, SM Holder's in the house. Welcome, Star Sister. Sorry guys, I'm just reading comments. And if you guys, Celine or Giannis, if there's questions, please add them to Discord so I can see them. Thank you. And so, one of the things to understand is the connection that we have through unity is done through the actual creation mechanics. You will see that there's different layers of these energy structures, but they're all like part of the bigger unified field. The Guardians call it the unified field. Is the Kundalini. It's got everything within it. So everything is built on those structures, kind of like it's described by the Guardians, even by Ashiana when she's teaching Kathara. You will hear her say this. It's a structure of spheres within spheres. This is how the Guardians teach it and explain it. Everything is within spheres of other spheres of other spheres. So the greatest sphere would be God, Source. And God, Source itself created the Kundalini, which is the Ascended Master levels, the Yanis levels, the Ayani levels. And so that would be the highest consciousness. And so when we talk about the guardians at different levels, that is understand that we're all intrinsically equal. Now, what we have is the greatest energy at the most outermost levels of source. That's the greatest energy. That's the all-encompassing energy, frequency, consciousness. So as soon as Source, God, creates something, well, that is something at a specific frequency. And so that frequency is not high as encompassing. It's not as encompassing as the original. This is why we end up calling, we usually call God Source, because it's the source of everything else. Everything comes from the creation of Creator. Creator created the Kundalini, which is, you would say spiritual physics, called the triadic phase current, which is within the polaric phase current, which is within the Eckhart current. These three sound fields, pre-sound, okay, these sound fields are the highest levels of the creation, with the ecstatic being the highest out of the three. So source source God first projected its consciousness into the Eckhart sphere. You could call it the first thought. Creator created. That's what Creator does. Creator creates things, stuff. So Creator created, you would say, fields, extensions of itself. So you're within God at the Eckhart level. Okay? You're within Source. And that's the ecstatic level. Within the ecstatic level is the polaric level. Smaller field. Less consciousness. Still equality. Everything is equality. You're in that first bowl, fishbowl. You're in the first field. Everything is. So, Source God created the Eckhart primal sound field. Okay? And so that is collectives. Collectives of consciousness. They're eternal. Never had a beginning, never had an end. Okay, so there's no death, there's no distortion, there's no darkness, no hatred. Everything is blessed. You do understand there is parts of creation that are perfect. There's parts of creation that are absolutely based on love, joy, bliss, nothing negative. At those higher Kundalini levels, the Katic level is perfect in paradise with God. It's a downstep of Source. And so this downstep of Source is filled with all these collective beings. And these collective races created life in the smaller polaric field. And these races and families of consciousness in the polaric field created life in the smaller triadic field. So Eckhart, ecstatic, polaric, triadic. Now these three fields, these beings, these collectives of Source, they created hologram fields made of light. These hologram fields are primal fields of light. So there's only sound. In the beginning was the Word. Sound. Light comes after. Sound is primordial to light. Greater than light. It is sound that created light. So, Eckhart, polaric, triadic. These beings created hologram fields of light spectra. And so when you understand these concepts, you understand they're all connected. Everything is in unity. This is the sacred universal law of one. Same principle, unity, law of one, same thing. Work together as one. It's all one. It's just, you start at the beginning. You start with God itself. It's not a he or a she. Itself. You know, there is no body forms yet. There is no planets. There is no alien races yet. This is only consciousness, pure conscious levels. Nothing like physical or light. You know, we see things in light. Nothing like that. This is all lights. This is all sound, pre-sound. And so these fields, these beings created hologram fields, systems called the time matrices. They created 24 time matrices. Technically, they created 12, which have an anti-particle self. So 12 becomes 24. 12 is always the base divine number. So 12 became 24 time matrices. See, our time matrix has an opposite time matrix. So the other 11 do too. So that equals 24. So these divine Kundalini beings, these ascended master beings, they're called yanas. These yanas started to put their consciousness into these limited, because they are limited. They don't encompass the full consciousness of source. They're limited. And so they're hologram fields that can only hold so much. You can't put too much in there, it destroys the hologram field. It destroys the time matrix. You can only fit so much into a time matrix. It's like trying to take, this is just a small analogy. Take a gigabyte file, no, nowadays terahertz, right? Take a terahertz file and try to fit it into a kilobyte file. You can't, it's impossible. You can't fit a terabyte into a kilobyte space. So you can only put a piece of the original terabyte file in there. It's the same with the time matrices. This is why, and this is how you can explain how a huge family, a Janus is a huge family of consciousness. One Janus is a family, a big collective, like Metatron. That's one of these Janus ascended families. That's a whole other story. But anyways, one of these families was called Melchizedek. They're the ones that put their consciousness into our time matrix. So this is, time matrix is a hologram field that's made of several different levels of consciousness. So the smaller levels have less, it's still God, so it's still equal as everything else in intrinsic value. But it holds less of source. So, but all beings treat each other with love and reverent respect and equality. So this is that's the concept we're trying to get across. So these ascended master primal sound fields, collectives, families, some of them put their consciousness, some of their consciousness into our time matrix, one of 24. So there's 15 levels. Those 15 levels are different speeds, particle speeds. Like the fastest would be so fast I can't even do it. You can't, do it that fast. And then the lower dimensions, lower densities are slower, and then lower ones are slower in frequency. And it's also created at different particle spin rates, or spin rates and angles. Different angles, 45 degrees, 90 degrees, 180 degrees. They're at different degrees. So all of creation in the hologram matrix is happening in the same space. But they create all these levels by changing the particle speed and the angle. So nothing is hitting each other. Nothing is, crashing into each other. It's all existing in the same space because of that. And so these out of these 15 dimensions, one of those are divided into 5 universes. Okay, so each one of these 5 universes has 3 dimensions. So times 5 times 3 is 15. So 5 universes, each one of those universes have 3 dimensions: a bass tone, an overtone, and a resonant tone. It's all harmonics. It's all frequency. And so let's take, for example, the highest one, density 5. Out of 5 universes, the highest one is density 5, antimatter, not anti, ante, A-N-T-E. It's not a mistake, it's not a misspelling, it's something different than antimatter. Okay, so antimatter. So these outside the time matrix, we have the Eckhart, the Polaric, and the Triadic. Those 3 levels, each of them, put some of its consciousness in our 15-dimensional time matrix in the 5th universe of antimatter, of primal light. This light spectra, dimension 13, is pale blue, pale turquoise. Let me correct myself. One level is pale gold, no, yellow. There's a difference between yellow and gold. This one's pale yellow, and the third one is pale magenta. Pale turquoise, pale yellow, pale magenta. Those are the light spectra of antimatter, hot plasma beings. So the Ascended Masters put themselves in these 3 levels of hot plasma, primal light. With the first one is the blue flame. Within that is the gold flame. It's yellow, but they call it gold. And then the third one, the smallest one, goes inside of that one, called the violet flame. Those are hot plasmic collectives of consciousness, and there's 3 levels of them, the blue flame being the highest level. Remember, each level simply means less frequency, less energy that it can hold. Like you can hold a certain amount of water in a cup, then a certain amount of water in a gallon. It's still equal, it's still water, it's still the same original source, but they hold more of it. So the blue flame holds the most. It's called Elohai, Emerald Order, blue flame, Elohai. And then within the Elohai, they created the Seraphai, the gold flame, yellow. Then the violet flame, Brahmarama. Elohai, Seraphai, Brahmarama. These are our universal trinity. Outside the time matrix, those are our universal, our cosmic trinity. See, that's the Kunderays, the cosmic fields. When they make these hologram systems, those are universal fields. So these cosmic beings, the Yanis, Ascended Masters, went into these hologram universal fields. It is only in these hologram fields where you can have distortion, not unity. The opposite of unity can happen in distorted, dimensionalized manifestation. So, but there is no distortion in the 5th universe. Those will never be distorted. They're always, you can't get in there without being non-distorted. Only non-distorted consciousness is in there. So you could call the universal trinity kind of like the main creators of life in our time matrix, because after they put that consciousness in the let me check on chat. I just want to make sure there's no problems. After they put that consciousness into our time matrix, they became dimensionalized, and this system was given free will. So you could consider that, wow, these time matrices, these hologram fields, they must be like experiments of God. And I say that because you'll even hear Speaker 1, Ashiana, talk about some of these time matrices are not based on free will. But ours is. And when you introduce free will, like, okay, this is a hologram field, do whatever you want. Well, some of them chose to, they became distorted. It took like 700 billion years before it happened. Everything was getting along in unity. Everything was in love, in joy. But I'm jumping ahead of myself. First of all, it's these guardian beings in the density 5, the 5th universe, that created alien races, and they created planets in the rest of the time matrix. There is no planets or ETs in the density 5. Those are immortal gestalts, collectives of consciousness. Okay? These collectives created individuals, people. They created planets. They're not people, they're not planets, domains, but they created those systems in the hologram fields, dimensions 1 through 12. Remember, each universe has 3, so that's 4 universes, the 4 universes below the 5th universe. So dimensions 1 through 12, except for dimension 12 itself, dimensions 1 through 11 has distortion in it, only because of what happened 250 billion years ago. There was a warring, a distortion started happening because of code convolution in their DNA, so their consciousness became distorted, so they became anti-God, anti-human, anti-life. Eventually. It didn't happen like this. It took time. It took 700 billion years to happen, but when it happened, our entire time matrix changed. It affected all the life between dimensions 1 through 11. Unity became polarized. There became distortion. There became separation. They broke the unity. But remember, this is only in a hologram field. This is so hard to explain to beginners who are arguing with me or leaving these nasty comments. They don't understand that especially Gnostics, they say everything in reality is made from a distorted God. You see, there's so many problems in that statement by itself. But you're going to get belief systems like Gnosticism totally creating these distorted ideas from what I just explained to you. In our own time matrix hologram, we're hologram beings. Hologram beings are called manifestations in light. Remember, there's no light, there's no color in the kundalini. Those are what happens when Source God wanted to create manifestation, experience light spectra, experience manifestation. That which was non-manifest becomes manifest through light, through these light hologram fields. So it is in these light hologram fields where it was given free will. There is no Emerald Covenant yet. There is no promise yet. They didn't need it yet, because everything was getting along in unity and love, omni-love. It was, and you will learn in these teachings that this was created, this time matrix, current life field of the time matrix was created 950 billion years ago. I just explained how they did it. They all came in and they created these planets and ETs throughout the rest of the time matrix, and they all got along for 950 billion years. Now, sorry, my nose keeps itching. Some of these families of consciousness, specifically the Metatron families and some of the reptilian families, they fell into distortion. This is the origin of distortion in our time matrix. And it was there was a warring that happened, and in this warring is when we fell out of unity, and now there existed distortion in our time matrix. It didn't always exist Gnostics, and you're going to argue blue in your face because that's what you've fallen into those occult false light systems. That's your path. That's your journey. Most of you get it. You understand that we all got along, but some problems happen, and now because of code convolution, DNA code convolution, which happens to do with inbreeding, kind of like incest is best. No, it's not. It distorts your consciousness. It distorts the DNA. You're going to have problems. Incest is not best. These Illuminati family lines, they keep it within the family. They marry, have sex, and have kids with their cousins, with their brothers and sisters. That's how royals roll. They're trying to keep their bloodline. They don't want to mix their bloodline with other humans. So they have to, that's what they started doing up there in those higher dimensions. The avatars were doing that. So that caused problems. That caused some DNA code convolution. Avatar incest. Created code convolution. And what I always say, if you distort the body, you distort the consciousness. If you distort the consciousness, warp it, make it believe in distorted ideas and concepts, that will eventually distort the body. You understand? It's intertwined. Spirit is physicality. Physicality is spirit. At different frequency vibrations. These 5 universes are made of different frequency vibrations. They're made of different matter, different levels of matter. The lowest matter is carbon matter. The second highest, lowest universe matter form is carbon etheric matter. It's literally 50% less dense. Do you know what dense means? Or are you too dense to understand that? Well, like water. Water is not very dense. You can't take some water and put it on the table without it losing its form. It's going to fall and run all over the place. It's not very hard. It's very soft. This is not very hard. It's not dense. This is not very dense. This water is not very dense. Now we talk about ceramic or a rock or steel. It is very, very dense. Let me find the most. 1 second here. Like, I'm sure diamonds has to be one of those, right? Mass energy density. That's what we're talking about. Matter is the mass energy density. Some of these things I don't know what they are. Number 10. I asked for the top 10 most dense things on earth. Number 10 was diamond. You know, most people think that diamond is one of the strongest things on earth, but it's number 10. Iron. What? Maybe I'm looking at this list upside down. Sorry guys, I just want to make sure this is correct. Yeah, it's something called osmium, the most dense solid known naturally. Osmium. And then let's go from the least dense out of these most dense things: diamond, iron, steel, lead, tungsten, gold, platinum, iridium, osmium. You know, to me it sounds like gold is supposed to be soft or something for jewelry, but a brick of gold is another story, right? You know, that just goes to show that there's a lot of people don't know this information. But now let's do the opposite. I'm trying to help people visualize. How many atoms are in the space? More atoms means more dense. You know, less atoms means not very dense. Like water. You know, I just mentioned that as an example. One of the not very solid, not very hard, not very dense. Water. You change the form to ice, it's more dense. Plastic, wood, we're going up, like more and more dense. No. What? No, least dense. I'm like tripping out. Why is wood, balsa, and pine, it's actually less dense than water? Cork. Styrofoam, more and more, least and least dense. Styrofoam, least dense. Helium, least dense. Smoke or steam, air, and vacuum. So, since I can't remember osmium, iridium, or most people know the word platinum. Okay, so you go from, well, most people don't think that's dense. Everybody knows a diamond is dense. From a diamond, very, very dense, to the vacuum of space, empty space, almost no matter at all in a vacuum. You see what I'm saying? So the more dense, the more physical you are, the least evolved in that regard of body forms or alien races or beings or life forms. You see what I'm saying? As you go through a spiritual ascension, you become less and less dense. You go from vibration to more into oscillation. You don't want vibration, you want oscillation. There's a difference. So as we expand, we're having less vibration and more oscillation. And so we're going from being a diamond. These are weird metaphors to try to use, but you know what I'm saying? You go from something so hard like a diamond into something that's like a vacuum, or something that's very, very more of a spirit. More of a spiritual being. We're all spiritual beings, but you know what I mean? Like more of a ghost-like energy. So we go from something that's very, very physical, that's the least evolved. The more less dense, like the universe and matters are less dense in the second universe. It's less dense, 50% less dense. Surely the physics are different in the second universe. Mathematics are different. Matter forms are different in the second universe. Then you go into the third universe. It's even less dense, where you can't even notice the body forms, or it's mostly consciousness only, you know. And then you go into liquid light, and then you go into plasma, liquid crystal, or no, therma, vapor. Oh my God, that's cool. That's cool. Oh my gosh, sorry. That's cool. I just said vacuum is like a vapor, is like the least dense. Well, that's what antimatter is. It's like a vapor, a vacuum, so to speak. So we go through this as life forms. You know, if we started up here, you guys, as plasmic beings, hardly any densification at all in the time matrix, the least dense. And then you fall into lower forms, or you project and create lower forms. Well, those are all, you know, are going to be having more, especially since there's a distortion. So the farther you go down in these dimensions and matter forms, you become more and more distorted. And so we're pretty distorted compared to our higher selves. And so let me check on chat, you guys. Let me see if she wrote any questions. No, she hasn't written any questions. Chihuahua. That's very interesting. Crystal mentions a black hole. And what do we know about black holes? It's reverse consciousness. That's the phantom matrix. The Guardians call it a black hole matrix. And there's actually something in Kathara that talks about these black holes. There's white holes, black holes. They're going to have different mechanics in the time matrix. So this is makes sense. When you think of the lowest consciousness, the darkest consciousness is in the black holes. There we go. And notice what black holes are doing. They're devouring light. If the scientists of the third dimension realize that light spectra is the construction of the universe's multiverse, and the least light you have, the worse manifestation. You want more light. You know, those radiant beings are such blinding light. The higher they are, the greater brilliance. As a matter of fact, when you're doing these techniques, for example, in the mentor technique, you see, well, first you see the blue flame. And then inside the blue flame, you see a white sphere. You want to be able to see the white sphere as radiant, super brilliant, blinding light. Can you imagine? Can you imagine with your eyes closed a sphere of blinding light? You imagine yourself as being the sphere. What helps is to see yourself inside a white sphere. And then you, with practice, you will start to see that you are the white sphere. You don't need to see a human form. You see yourself as a white sphere. Thank you for those hearts, whoever's doing that. Bless you. So we see ourselves as brilliant white light, which is the 12th dimensional light spectra. Out of 12, the lowest one is the first one, which is red in light spectra. Then it changes to an orange light spectra, and then to a yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, gold, silver, dark blue, dark silver, and pale turquoise, pale yellow, and pale magenta. This is the light spectra of the 15-dimensional time matrix. And so you have at the top unity. Okay, unity within dimension 12 is unity. It's pure white light spectra. Dimension 13 is pale turquoise. The dimension 14 is pale yellow. Dimension 15 is pale magenta. So those are the guardians. They don't have distortion. They're not in polarization. They're all within omni-love. They're within the God's original intention. So you're not going to find distortion there. You're not going to find fallen angels there or demons or anything like this. And so we're trying to reclaim that part of ourselves. These teachings are about bringing in that frequency of unity. Bringing in the 12D, 12th dimension, is the Christ, the Christos frequency, consciousness. If you bring in the Christ consciousness, you're trying to bring in that unity of that level, of that non-polarized state, which is separation, incompleteness. You're not being complete that way. If you think about it, gender is incomplete. It's half of a whole. You're not meant to have gender. Your original state does not have gender. You're androgynous without gender. So it's a down step to be a male or a female. I know some people are going to understand what I just said and demonize and take that out of context and don't understand. It is a low spiritual experience, and I do mean low. It's only in the first and second universe where you're going to experience gender. Eventually, you evolve into the androgynous level, and then you evolve into collective levels, greater and greater families of consciousness. Your mind is so freaking amazing at those levels. I mean, OMG, can you imagine? No, you don't need to imagine. Some of us experience those levels. It's unbelievable. It's almost like you experience it, and then the other parts of your identity, how is this possible, right? It's so unbelievable, so godlike. And it is godlike. It is something that's just so fantastic compared to normal existence. Like, how? That's me. That's part of who I am. And so that is part of you that is living outside of distortion, that has been through all these levels of itself, that includes all those levels of itself, that is more than just the self, but the many of its collective, so and there's moments here, you guys, in your journey on earth, that you will feel experiences of that. I mean, I had this experience in 2021. It might have been 2022, but I had the most absolutely beautiful feeling of love come over my entire being. It is extraordinary. It will give you joy, tears of joy. It is so exquisite, so blessed to feel this love. Unconditional, incredible, fantastic love. Nothing sexual, nothing romantic. I didn't see any of that. It was just simple, just blessed love. I felt that more than once, man. It's not coming from 3D. I learned a lot in that experience. Not only did I learn that exists, it's real, because I felt it completely, but I was in a state of like a child. Like, I felt in that moment I was a child playing with another divine, perfect child. And I just felt laughter. I felt playful. I felt like I was playing with, I don't know what it was. Maybe we were just both children of these mighty beings. I don't know. It just felt like I had a parental love. That love that I was feeling was some parental guardian group. I felt it was a collective energy, and we had no care. Like we weren't thinking about any drama. We were just playing and felt this incredible joy and love and laughter, and life is so perfect. So I learned that exists. I know that it's real. It's a cognizance now. Now it's with me. Thank you for those hearts, Holy One. And that was my first experience in 2021. It happened again. And this time I saw them. I saw these massive collectives. It's so hard to explain. It's a combination of morphing. Like, you don't stay one shape. These beings do not stay one shape. They're constantly changing shape. They don't have bodies like us. They're like a menagerie, or like a collage of spirit. It's hard to explain. It's a massive bunch of energies from its family combined together, and you just feel it. You sense it. You experience it. And so I've seen that. After I had that one experience of love, I felt from these beings, this huge, massive collective, I felt like I was like treasure to them. Their emotion felt to me like they thought I was like treasure, just so deeply care about me, about you, about us. Talk about an honor, man. Talk about something you will never forget. If you ever have doubt in your life, go back to that moment, brother, sister. Some of you surely have felt these extraordinary, divine love. Some of you experienced that love. Surely, a lot of us who are awakening have experienced those moments. And let me tell you something. For all those haters of plant medicine, let me tell you something. I experienced that extraordinary, profound love in every single atom of my body from mushroom. Psilocybin. How dare you, brother and sister, demonize it? You are not taking that. I call that out as a lie. That is a lie. You demonizing plant medicine, brothers and sisters in the Christos community. So, I experienced that exquisite, absolutely perfect divine frequency with psilocybin. No, it wasn't the psilocybin, it was the facilitation. And I don't need to convince any of you. I could care less if one single being believes me. Look at my body language. Read me. And that's when I had a couple of my past moderators leave. Oh, are you guys going to leave me now? Giannis or Stardust Goddess, Indigo Wizard, Sermatism. Are you guys going to leave me because I took some psilocybin? Machiwa! Ecstasy. You said it, Inloton. Georgina, you said it. Let those people not experience. It's okay. That's your choices. You don't have to experience this. I've seen 10,000 IQ. I have felt this extraordinary IQ on psilocybin, baby. On penis envy, they call it. What's up? Representing Christos Avatar, 500,000 subscribers. I prayed within my Elohai Elohim before I started this show. I'm not going to sit here and spend time trying to convince you, brothers and sisters in the Christos. And those people who walked away from the moderators, they are, they will never experience this. They're not going to experience it. They refuse to experience it. They don't believe it exists. And they will demonize you. Let them. I'm still here. They still have what? What do they have? I see what they have. Your brother Anuhazi is still growing. I think that was when I was like 30K. Now I'm 100K. I've been on a UFO, homie. And that was when I was on cannabis. I'm not promoting cannabis. I'm talking about psilocybin. But when I was taken by the Guardian group, a Guardian UFO, I was on cannabis. Stop! And when that happened, when that UFO returned me, man, I had the most extraordinary, it felt like a peaceful lightning bolt. Like a lightning bolt, you would think it's very, very painful or something. It could kill you, right? It felt extraordinary bolt of frequency. And then it happened and I'm walking, right? I smoke cannabis and I'm just walking outside. I'm in the wilderness of Las Vegas. I'm in the wilderness, a desert wilderness. It's like 9 p.m. I'm just walking and then boom! I was gone! No longer in the third dimension. And they returned me. I had my walk-in. And you want to demonize plant medicine. You want to tell me some shit about it. Excuse my language. No, you're not. So you guys, to each their own. You are God, sovereign, free. You decide. You choose. Do not allow speaker one to say anything about it if you choose otherwise. That's all your brother Anuhazi is saying. You choose. This is not the innerchristos. This is your brother Anuhazi telling you. I guarantee you it's going to help your spiritual journey. I guarantee you, brothers and sisters. I'm not talking about cannabis. I'm talking about psilocybin. It is me, not the Emerald Covenant. It is your brother Anuhazi promising you. I promise you, my integrity. I put my integrity on it. That psilocybin will rock your DNA. What's up? So, and it's not as if you won't experience anything dark, because it's based on your frequency. It's going to reflect your current frequency. And I always tell people, within the context of suggesting, encouraging to once in your life try psilocybin, I also within that context say, do not take it until you're in a positive state, positive mind. If your emotions are effed up, if you're having problems in your life, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, don't take psilocybin. So don't take me out of context, because I will point to this as timestamp of what I said. Do not take it unless. And yes, when you come to our Sedona retreat, it will be offered to you a group trip, a group medicine, machiwa, within your Maharic seal. Do not take psilocybin without Maharic seal. Do not take it without those different crystal. I'll show you what I did. when I was on psilocybin, I was watching the Carrie Cassidy, Ashiana Dean workshop. And those symbols, Ashiana was putting the symbols, codes, on right next to her, right? Beautiful symbol codes when I was on psilocybin. Number one, my entire energy field, I could see all pale turquoise light, all magenta light. I only saw two colors, teal, turquoise, pale turquoise, and pale magenta. I've seen it 5 times, this aura. That was the first thing. It was around the entire TV monitor. The whole monitor was freaking raging pale turquoise light and pale magenta light. Those two colors I always see. And so when I saw Ashiana put those symbols were alive. They moved, they changed form, they were, what do you call it? Not changed form. They were just animated. Like they weren't physical 2D diagrams, it was alive. So this is why I started putting these symbol codes even on my phone. I would put them on my phone waiting for my trip. After I did my Hamaric seal, after I prayed to the Holy Elohai and cleansed myself with all of these other frequencies, I got into a positive state. Then I also have these symbol codes. And then I also sometimes have MCEO workshops playing in the background. Until it becomes too intense, I have to stop that noise. You don't want to have all that noise and visuals. You just want to go into the medicine. Because it's going to be bringing up memories. Okay? So if you ever have any dark experience, any negative energies, what you want to do is turn on all the lights. I don't do it in the nighttime. I do it in the daytime. But if you want to do it in the nighttime and you're having some negative experience, turn on all the lights. Wash your face. Turn on some 3D music. Turn on some music. Go outside and get fresh air so the medicine is not so strong. And it helps to have someone that loves you right next to you. Hey, baby, what's up? So anyways, that kind of went off in a tangent. I'm sorry, but your brother, when it comes through, I express it. I share it. I don't trust cannabis 100%. Or at least I should say, I don't trust the dispensaries. I don't trust the dispensaries of how they now are jacking up the strength, and I got sick from it. I got lymphatic inflammation. Lymphatic inflammation. I'll say it again. I got lymphatic inflammation from cannabis. Now I have to take turmeric and ginger and I have to jump on a trampoline now. You see this trampoline? I have to jump on a trampoline now. That helps my lymphatic inflammation. I mean, my case is very, very unusual. No one else, I haven't found one other person who has gotten lymphatic inflammation. Just me, I guess. Oh, I don't want to put that in the screen. So I don't trust cannabis completely, but it does still help with experiences that are just out of this world, man. Out of this world experiences. Not like mushroom, not even close. It's like, if I try to compare, like this is cannabis, and this is psilocybin, man. Like this, there's a huge chasm. There's no comparison. It's not the same medicine. And me and my twin flame, Julia, she also, we both agree that ayahuasca is another medicine that can help you in your journey. Now, I have only tried it once, so I can't give you a lot of testimony about it, but some people will say it's a very powerful plant medicine as well. And the experience that I had was super amazing, but I was around a lot of 3D people and distorted teachers. They weren't Christic. As a matter of fact, you go to Peru, they worship the goddess. That's not, we don't roll with worshiping anything, much less a god or goddess. So be wary of that. It's better to take it alone or, so. And I'm pretty sure this is why Christic Symbiosis banned me. Let them. Let them ban me. Thank you, Giannis. We got Christos Avatar. When I placed my hand on my head, my hair was sticking to my hands. That's how electrifying it was. What was electrifying, brother? I'm curious. She didn't give me the whole message, I guess. Can you give me the whole message, please? Because I don't know what he's talking about. Are you just saying, I don't see the whole story, but thank you for sharing Divine Reflection 1111. Liz Angel, I would agree with you that it even affects more, because I literally saw billions of years in the future. Billions of years, man. If it wasn't billions, it was definitely millions of years in the future, where consciousness was so super advanced, so hyper advanced. I saw myself as huge collectives of consciousness, man. Almost like they were creating, it's almost like I saw them creating the galaxies. These beings were created. I was this being. I was this massive collective being creating. Creation, parts of creation. And if this is 950 billion years, that was billions of years ago what I witnessed. And you cannot have those visions, experiences, unless you're from there. They're actually showing you, it's actually activating what you can. You can see those things because you are from those places and dimensions. It's kind of like, think of it this way. This is why I'm not going off of what anyone else says on this. I'm explaining my own personal experience. So what I feel from my own personal experience is that it temporarily activates a freaking high-level chakras. You cannot perceive, listen to me carefully, you cannot perceive these super advanced, spiritual, divine, perfected realms unless it activated those chakras to, right now. You cannot see something that you don't have a connection to. In these sacred experiences, I never felt some wicked beings. I mean, there's a few times where I've gotten some negative energies. It was always sexual. That's like something they focus on. And then you start to realize what the hell's going on, and you just transmute it and it disappears. Some people, like like Julia, my girlfriend, she said that she used the word Jesus once, and the beings went away. I suspect if you use the word Christ or Christos, these demons or beings or shadow people will also go away. So, what I suggest is that you have this ready for you. You know what to do. You know exactly how to react if you see dark energies. You don't allow it. And that's part of my daily prayers to Holy Elohai. I do not allow those beings into my field. We, I use the word we because you are a we. We are plural, not singular, we're plural. We do not allow these frequencies. As a matter of fact, some of these video workshops, they teach you how to make these divine statements. Even Lisa Renee makes a lot of content teaching you how to do that. I encourage you though, you go through the Emerald Order teachings though. But what I'm saying is, you make these statements, you make these decrees, and you do not allow those families or those frequencies into your field. You don't stop doing your Maharic Seal though. You keep on doing your Maharic Seal daily. Unless you're some person living in the middle of nowhere outside the grid and you have no person around you, you're not going to get very much influences. But you're living in a huge city. I'm living in Nevada. I'm living near Sin City. You live around negative people, or maybe there's people in your neighborhood. Come on. Those are all possible influences in your sphere. This is why we do the Maharic Seal. Whether you're freaking a Christic powerful person or not, you still put up your shields, man. Are you kidding me? I'm asking you, are you kidding me? You're not shielding yourself? You need to be doing the Maharic Seal regularly, homies. Do you even know how to do it? I guess I got to make a video for you to watch it, because you're not going to go look it up online. You're not going to find Oceanus Dean, Speaker One, and Michael Dean teaching you how to do it. Okay, since you're not going to do it, I will make the video. I will make a Maharic Seal video, okay? Because you guys need to be protecting yourselves. No question, man. I don't care how good you and powerful and strong you think you are, you need to always be doing your 12th dimensional Maharic Seal. That is the Christ, that is the Christos ray. We want that Christos ray regularly. No, the Christos ray is white light. The Maharic Seal is pale turquoise. Thank you for those hearts, Holy One. Give me a kiss. Mwah. Julia might get jealous or mad, but you can kiss me from it electronically, right? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I don't know why I said that. Just being silly. But anyways, this is something that I don't know. It's just exciting to sit back here and just like kick it with you guys, and because you can see chat and people are getting it. People know what's up. People know what's up. What's up, Divine Reflection, Laura and Wisdom? And the mentor is really easy, right? I'll give you guys the gist of the mentor technique. It's really short. Get in a relaxed place. Slow down your breathing. Close your eyes. Take your fingers and stimulate your around your belly button, around your navel. Stimulate it by going around the navel. And then you'll see that way towards your body from this navel point. Inside your body, in the middle, is a blue flame. You can let go of your navel now. Let go of it. That's just to stimulate it. You see behind, in the middle of your body, is a blue flame. See the blue flame. See keep on seeing it. See the blue flame. See the blue flame. Do you see the blue flame? See the blue flame. You practice this every day, you can see the blue flame better and better and better. It requires some type of visualization. Your skill with visualizing gets better with practice. Regular practice, you're going to get better, just like with anything. So you regularly practice seeing the blue flame behind your navel. You'll see it. After you see it and really see it, now you see a white light, a white sphere in the middle of the blue flame. Inside the blue flame is the white sphere. This is your mentor. So you see it. You see yourself inside the white sphere now. You saw it in the blue flame. Now go farther. Now see it. You're inside the blue flame. Now it was small here. Now you're surrounded in it. Now you are it. Now you are this white sphere. See this space? This is the space and a spherical space around you. That is you, or that is the mentor. That is your Christic self. That's white spectra. That's the 12th dimensional spectra. But now go back to the blue flame. Now go back to looking at the blue flame behind your navel. And now see that white sphere go out of the flame, go up the prana tube, that's the middle tube, up to your third eye. This is the blue flame. Now you're not focusing on the blue flame. Now you're looking at the white sphere. It's in your third eye, or in front of your third eye. Just visualize a white sphere now. You were inside it. Now you're seeing it. Okay? Now it moves to the side, the right side, not the left side, only the right side. That's how the guardians teach it. It goes to the right side, and then it goes up from your shoulder. And then after it goes above your shoulder, it grows to like the size of a bowling ball. Instead of a small little sphere, now it's a big sphere. Okay? That's the mentor. That's the mentor technique. Now you start seeing the Maharic seal. Now you see a 6-pointed white star. And when you're a beginner, you see it 2D. I don't see it 2D anymore. And it can have more than 6 points. It could have 12 points. It could have 24 points. You heard me talking about this with Nate when I did an interview with him. I heard Ashana and Michael Dean talking about thousands of points when they were talking about it. How many did we get to last time, she said? Oh, thousands of points. Thousands of points. I see more than that. I mean, I try with my visualization, with practice, I got to see millions of points. And you don't just see it as a small little star, man, a gigantic star. And I don't just see it like a normal pillar. I see it, me in the middle of a gigantic pillar. But anyways, I'm jumping ahead, right? You see the white 6-pointed star. And now, see the mentor is still right here. This goes to the left side. So you got the sphere and the white star. Now you see the pale gray star, or the dark gray star. It's the same shape as the white star, but it's made of dark silver spectra. You see that for a little while. You visualize that for a little while. Now you see the white star and the gray. I'm going into the Maharic seal technique. I don't need to play that all out, but you know what I'm saying? It combines together pure white and dark silver, create a different color. Pale silver. It looks like mercury. It's not mercury. It looks like mercury. Or you could say it looks like liquid metal. If you don't know what that looks like, look it up on the internet. Liquid metal. You might see some pictures of the Terminator from Part 2. It was made of liquid metal. So get used to seeing that. Get used to seeing liquid star, a liquid 6-pointed star or 12-pointed star, whatever star. Now you see it shoot down to the middle of the earth. I'm not going to go through the whole technique. But I was just trying to introduce the mentor, so. Oh, Georgina, yeah. When it comes to having trouble visualizing, you'll even hear Ashana talk about this in the Kathara workshop. She says that you still want to put intention there. So basically say, the white star. The white star is in the middle of my head. You're putting intention there. It's still going to work for you. It's about intention if you can't visualize. The intention will count. Okay? So put intention and say, first of all, I encourage you to memorize all the steps. Because if you're doing this, reading, okay, what was that again? Okay. Oh, well, okay, what was that part? Okay. How much, what color, what space? See what I'm saying? You don't want to do that. You want to memorize the whole technique and go through all the steps. That will take some practice. Do some practice and know all of the steps. Now, since you know all the steps, you don't have to open your eyes and look at something. Well, now you can just intend it. I see the white star because you know all the steps, right? And it goes to the left. I now see the gray star, dark silver star. Just say it. You're intending it. Saying where it's located, where it's at, what does it do? Say the instructions to yourself, and you're intending it, and it's happening. It's going to help. It will help. And eventually, it's possible. You will be able to visualize it even if you can't do it now. And that could be related. Maybe you're doing cannabis all the time. Maybe you have a bad diet. There's certain things that are affecting your visualization. As a matter of fact, you could do some research. How to improve your visualization. There's books written on it. You can find people teaching about how to visualize. So if you can't visualize, put some time and effort into learning how to visualize, because it's a whole art. You can spend time practicing visualization. It's actually fun. And you can see things, very clearly, and you can see things very small. You put your mind in small spaces and big spaces. You move your thought around stuff, because in these techniques, I remember Ashiana, way back in 1998, she was teaching you how to visualize energy balls and how to move those energy balls around the room. You practiced it. This is part of your practice, part of your training. So, Machiwa. Oh, for some reason my window closed. Just gotta make sure everything's okay. Yeah. What's up, homies? Feel, that's a good thing too. Feel. Feeling and intending. Feel and intend. Good tip, divine reflection. You see, guys, that's the benefit of being in a community. That people who respect you, who care, you're going to get lots of advice that help them. Kind of like testimony. Lauren, wisdom. See, she's confirmation for you right there. I used to not feel the star energy when I started, but now I can feel it all the way down and through my feet, and so and Star Sister, same with me. I didn't experience this stuff before. I didn't see those visions before. I didn't feel those sensations before. I did not feel them before. It was hard for me to even believe in those things because I didn't feel them. But I didn't give up. I kept on, believing, and until I finally talk about my first experience in Ukraine when I was surrounded by so-called friends. I suddenly, after taking cannabis, I started feeling empathy. And this is another thing that people are demonizing. What the? Oh my God. It was cannabis. I'm not talking about psilocybin now. I'm talking about cannabis. It was cannabis that helped me experience psychic abilities. I'm not telling you to rely on it. I'm explaining that you can explore it responsibly. Not rely, not be addicted to it. Because many people are addicted to weed. or think they need it all the time. You don't. One of the reasons I took it before I went to bed every night, because it was the only thing that helped me fall asleep. So I thought. I was serious about it, when I got myself to be serious enough to say, I'm stopping smoking, man. I don't care. I got to the point where I don't care, man. You're not going to smoke. So I stayed up to 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning until I started falling asleep. And then after a couple of days of falling asleep, I could easily fall asleep without cannabis. I didn't need it. I didn't miss it. So it's not easy all the time, you guys, brothers and sisters. But there are, we can share our experiences and what helps us. Like, I didn't know anything about lymphatic inflammation until I started learning about it. I learned that I would never in 100 years think that jumping on a trampoline was going to help my serious issue. It helped. It was the one thing that helped the most, more than garlic, or more than turmeric, more than ginger. It really made a difference. And I still use this. I'm no longer selling this anymore. Just so you guys know, don't give a link for this anymore. I'm not selling it. But this made a big difference too. The terahertz wand. I can still sell it if someone really wants it, but I will have to do the manual payment. That's all, I'm not promoting it anymore. Anyways, we share things with the community because we help each other. We care about each other. The more of us awaken, the better. We see what we're up against. We know there's plenty of people, whether they are aware of it or not. There's plenty of people, lots and lots of people in New Age following false light teachings. It's not helping them ascend, you guys. That's the whole point of false light teachings. So you're not doing anything actually. You're not helping yourself. And some of it's actually harming you. So if you start having issues, you won't diagnose it. You will think it's something else maybe. So I just know that when you put that intention into the universe, positive, loving things, you're going to have what I call, positive karma. Like positive things happen to you because you're putting all that positive energy into the world. It comes back to you. That's not why you do it. That shouldn't be your motivation. You just should be loving and giving and generous and caring naturally, not expecting anything in return. Right? So yeah. So this is pretty cool, man. This is a cool fun energy tonight with you guys. And you guys, I just have to do this sometimes. Let me show one of the ways that you can support my work is by, and if you don't want to leave a donation, you can also buy one of my t-shirts. And I'll have one of our moderators, please put that link in the chat. Let me show, for example, like the twin flame shirt. Oh yeah, since we just talked about the mushroom, let me put that on the screen. Oh, it's not on Photoshop. Let me fix that. I'm just trying to fix this image issue. 1 second, guys. Sorry. Properties, change to Photoshop. So this is my one of the t-shirts that I have, be right back. Recalibrating reality. And you definitely do that when you're on psilocybin. What's up, homies? Different colors. This is ash, gray ash. It's in white color. It's in sage color, one of my girlfriend's favorite colors. It's in lilac. It's in purple. Actually, if you want a special request, I could do it in any color. This is navy color. I don't know if you can see that. You guys, please check out my shop. I have all kinds of t-shirts. This is just one of them. I wanted to show the twin flame one. Let me pull out the twin flame. I made the twin flame one as also a hoodie. And a coffee mug. This is the hoodie, Twin Flame, Sacred Union shirt. This is just something that is in the teachings, Twin Flame, Sacred Union. It's actually talked about in detail. There's a whole workshop, or not a whole workshop, but they do talk about it. Let me see. Also, I made a mug. This is one of the ways that you can support my channel. So thank you guys for that. I just got to do that sometimes. All right. Thank you, Magi Celine. And by the way, when we talked about psilocybin, the people that I love and trust have shared their same similar experiences, man. It's not just me. So you know, people who are talk against it, against plant medicine, they're not doing anyone a service. Okay? So I suggest that you guys use your own discernment when it comes to plant medicine. And you can listen to people's advice. My advice is I don't trust cannabis 100%. So I definitely wouldn't be wanting to take it all the time. Like, use it with have balance in your life, you guys. Don't rely on it. And, you know, even sometimes for myself, I got to give myself that advice. Because to me, it's sometimes very hard to fall asleep. But there's a lot of different benefits of that medicine. It's known for healing many different things. My gosh, it's incredible if you think about it. And it's something that you co-create with. It's like anything else, you know. You just can see how it affects you and decide if that's something you want to use or not. Georgina, right? Did I say something already about Georgina? Thank you, Georgina. Bless you, sister, for your donation. 999 is powerful number. Woohoo! Excuse me. Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, thank you so much, sister. And yeah, Lauren Wisdom, yeah, I'm coming to a close tonight. Pink Panther, good to see you. Crystal Aligned Cat in the house. I love how you speak about your twin flame lover, Dever. It's so precious. She's badass, man. I love my twin flame. I love my Julia. She's an amazing woman. I'm so grateful in my life that the guardians brought us together. Her guardians, her higher selves, my higher selves, the guardians brought us together, man. It's just like, came out of surprise. It came out of nowhere. It came out of the Sedona trip. It is something that's just a gift. Just a gift. So grateful. And it makes me stronger. It makes her stronger. We don't live in the same state, so that's the one sucky thing. but that's a temporary setback. It's not. It's testing. It's one of those things that tests you. But thank you for that. It's good to hear that, because I'm sure there's haters out there who don't like that or whatever, for whatever reason. Who cares? Just transmute that, right? But yeah, what that does is, when you come with your twin flame, you are uniting your entire DNA template. Okay, remember when it's only half? A female is only half. A male is only half. When you bring male, female, twin flame pair together, watch out. Your field becomes greater. Literally, I've heard Ascension describe it as up to, let's say this is your field of frequency, of power. She said it becomes twice or 2.5 times greater. That's incentive alone, baby. What's up? And in the past, I fell for a false twin flame. It wasn't my twin flame. You guys, I just ask that you guys don't just throw yourself at the first candidate of your twin flame. It could be, it couldn't be. You need to confirm it. It takes time to confirm. Even if your first date was amazing, and it was amazing. Even if your first date was amazing, don't leap into it. Take your time. If you both have patience and you check each other out, check how the person really is. What is it like to live with them or sleep with them or be with them? What is there anything about them that you're not sure about? Take your time, and it will definitely. What I told myself is, I will not choose a girl who's not in the teachings. So the first time it threw me off because the girl was in the teachings. I didn't check her out enough. We were actually jumping into it way too fast. Of course, it revealed itself on its own, thankfully. But, that's why I'm saying take your time and check it, because when you find out the real deal, it will rock your world. It will make you feel things and experience things that you never knew was even possible. And this is just the beginning of my relationship. I'm looking forward to the future. So, anyways, I'm going to come to let me show the diagram about unity a little bit, and then I'll end the. So you guys, give me 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. Hang with us for 5 more minutes. Okay, so we have the 15-dimensional time matrix, was explaining earlier. And God, source. I've had some stupid people. That's not very loving. I've had some very ignorant, immature people say this is AI. This is an AI God. This is not AI God. When we say source, that means the creator. It's not no freaking ridiculous AI God. So I'm just straightening that shit out real quick. Sorry for my language. So we have this source God projected its consciousness into the Ekar. Okay, I told you about that. These are ascended masters. They're called Yanas. These ones are the Grande Yanas. Think of grande like grand in Spanish. It means grand. They are the greater ascended masters, as in frequency. Remember, everything's intrinsically equal. So source God put its consciousness, it created the cosmos first. God created these energy structures. It's all energy. It's all consciousness. The cosmic field is made of God's source, is consciousness. This is why this is called the unified field. So God first put it into the ekar, the ecstatic level. And it is these beings who projected consciousness, some of their consciousness, so it has less, some of their consciousness in the polaric. This level puts some of its consciousness in the triadic. This is why you literally have 3 different levels of Giannis, 3 different levels of ascended masters. It is these consciousness beings who chose our time matrix. Remember I told you there's 24 time matrices. So there's some of these ascended masters from these levels put their consciousness in density universe 5, the highest level. Remember, I called it antimatter, not antimatter. Antimatter is the parallel universe. I'm not talking about anti-particle. I'm talking about anti. So the ekar, the polaric, and the triadic ascended masters put their consciousness into the plasmic fields. So this is always going to be perfect, always going to be blessed, and based on unity. It is not polarized. It doesn't have polarized thinking. So it is these families of consciousness, the Elohai, the Seraphi, and the Brahma. These 3 families, you call them founders races. You can call them the Universal Trinity. The Universal Trinity are the ones who created the planets and the ET races in the lower universes. Universe 4, density universe 3, density universe 2, and density universe 1. And I talked about matter, the lowest being carbon matter. The next highest is carbon crystal or carbon etheric or etheric matter. And the next one is a hydroplasmic prematter. And then finally the one where the Universal Trinity exists. So as soon as these beings became distorted in the 11th dimension, remember I told you the war, the Lyran Elohim war, they became polarized. They had distortion, and it temporarily removed the 12th strand of DNA in all DNA templates. So this is why it created distortion in dimensions 1 through 11. And it is dimensions 1 through 11 that are experiencing problems with unity. Tonight's topic. Notice in dimension 12, that's where the divine blueprint is. You have a divine version of yourself. That's why in these MCEO, Emerald Order, Melchizedek Cloister, Emerald Order teachings, the MCEO, Melchizedek, is coming from the Ekar, coming from this highest level space, and they came and projected life in this space, or actually the blue flame. And so this is what tonight was talking about, you guys. This is all. I just wanted to show you the diagram at the end, so it makes a little bit more sense. Now notice that within this 4th universe and lower, you get fallen angelic consciousness now, because of that Lyran Elohim war, because of the reverse consciousness that fell into phantom. This is not unity, the opposite of unity. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for hanging with us tonight. Much love, much respect to your journey. Thank you for hanging with us on Tuesdays. I'll be here on Saturday, so same time, same channel. If you're watching this replay after the live, you can still give a donation. Did you know, I don't know if some of you know, you can leave a donation for somebody on their video. There's a button for it. Or you guys can go to my description of this video and find my PayPal location or PayPal link. You can leave me a donation on the replay. So thank you guys so much. Thank you so much for hanging with us tonight. Shaddai Ure Akuntan. Doesn't matter if you're a good singer, bad singer. Sing it with me. Shaddai Ure Akuntan. Shaddai You could just speak it. Shaddai Ude Akum Tun. Shaddai Ude Akum Tun. Shaddai Ude Akum Tun. Play with it. Say it. Practice it. Do it at different tones. Low, high, middle. Play with it. Experience it. Feel it. Much love, much respect to all of you. I love all of you unconditionally. Even if you hate me, I love you unconditionally. That's how guardians roll. Hey, that's how God rolls. God loves even the axe murderer. God loves even the Anu Elohim, the reptilian phantom beings. God loves everything, so we should love everything too. It's not easy, but that's what we're capable of. We're capable of omni love. Thank you guys. Much respect to your journey. See you soon, my chihuahua. Yeah, baby. Spiritual gangsters in Christ, the Christos. My chihuahua.